Hello everyone, my name is GLORIA ALONSO. I am one of the interns that is working with Restore the Delta thanks to the Irvine grant. We're ensuring that we can have better water quality standards and better flood control practices in our region so that we can protect vulnerable communities. I am currently attending the Sacramento State University with an emphasis on geography and metropolitan area planning and geographic information systems. So the work that I've been doing with Restore the Delta has just exposed me to all the work in a context that I can understand and in a way that I can feel empowered and supported to continue to obtain higher education. The work that I've been doing with Restore the Delta has been so crucial to me, not just on an individual level, but also on a community, on an urban solidarity level, because it is oftentimes that people like me who come from low-income backgrounds, who are immigrants, who obtain English as a second language and are therefore sometimes linguistically isolated. These are the people that are left out in our communities that do not get to provide the input to continue to build an environment that is not gonna displace them. So every time I attend the trainings provided by Restore the Delta, every time I go to one of the state board of the water state board meetings, it is important for me to bring this to the table and to ensure that I can provide the lens through which I see my community as a place that we belong, regardless of the disparities that we can face. And it is a place that we can continue to build and enhance and just make it better for future generations to come.
Hi everyone, my name is Lonnie Thompson. I am an intern with Restore the Delta, and I'm just going to answer a couple of questions for you guys. Growing up in the Gen Z generation, I have heard about climate change and environmental justice issues since I was in grade school. And I've also seen as natural disasters and environmental crisis have become more and more common, not only in our country, but all over the world. And often I've faced the question of what can I do in order to be of service around this issue? What awareness can I bring to it? Where can I insert myself into it? And when thinking about that, I would think about local issues. And, in California, one local issue that everybody is kind of, talking about that's always in conversation is water quality, especially here in Stockton and the Delta areas. And and that's why this internship is so important to me, because Restore the Delta has taken the time to put in the work to engage and educate community members and residents and leaders on water quality and water issues that the Delta is facing, and preventative measures that we can take before any environmental issues that we are currently seeing get any worse. Restore the Delta has done crucial work in the past, and they are continuing to do work around environmental issues specific to the Delta in order to prevent it from becoming the next big crisis or the next big environmental crisis. And that's why I think they're so important to this community. And environmental justice is just an important topic to continue to engage around, because climate change is here. And we see it today, we see its effects today, and it's only going to get worse. So we must do now what we can in order to push the conversation forward and better prepare our communities, especially our minority communities, on on the effects that climate change is going to have.
Hello, my name is Natalia Barraza, and I am a water climate advocate for Restore the Delta. I am currently studying at UC San Diego, and I'm majoring in structural engineering. I have been an active volunteer for Restore the Delta for many years, and as time went by, I grew more and more passionate about advocating for water rights that affect the Delta and neighboring cities. I was born and raised in Stockton, California, where I was able to see firsthand the implications of climate change, redlining, and environmental injustice. The fisheries are important to me because they are protecting the ecosystem's health and creating sustainability, two things that are vital for the growth of the Delta. Fisheries have been underestimated for their potential to reduce fish losses and maintain fish supplies. While there have been policies implemented to solve the issues that were caused by the increase in water exports from the Delta, they're simply not enough. But these estuaries are collapsing and many species of fish are near extinction, including our beloved salmon and our Delta smelt. The Delta needs our help now more than ever, and it will continue needing our help for years to come. This is our responsibility, and it is up to us to bring it back to its former glory.
My name is DARIUS, and I'm a climate and water intern with Restore the Delta. I wanted to take some time to talk about my experience interning for Restore the Delta and some things that I've learned that I think are very important and I find are very valuable. One of the first things that I was learning as I started was surrounding floods and the threat that floods pose to certain communities, like some communities in the South Stockton area. And in learning about those floods, it was really eye-opening for me because one, I didn't know that the integrity of levees were even a threat to civilians. And I didn't really realize how close people were living to these bodies of water and these levees. I've really been enjoying my internship. I've learned so much and I've met people, and it's just every day's a new and amazing experience. I really am learning so much. Some of the things I'm learning I've never would have thought about before. For example, I learned about what a subbasin was. And it's just like there's every single day I'm like learning more and more. Like my knowledge on topics that we are covering was, I didn't even know, but it was so limited. And so I'm really being given the opportunity to expand what I know every single day, and I love that. So I think that's all I'd like to share for today. Again, my name is DARIUS. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Hello, my name is PARRILLA, and I am a climate water advocate intern for Restore the Delta. I am a first-year student attending Humboldt State University, majoring in history. I was raised in Stockton, California, and growing up here, I've been able to witness the impacts of environmental degradation and inequity. For the past several years, I've been working with Restore the Delta, and since I began, I've learned a lot about the importance of environmental justice and activism. But most importantly, I've learned about the significance of the California Bay Delta and its estuaries. California's water management practices have severely impacted our salmon and Delta smelt populations, an environmental and cultural landmark of the San Joaquin Bay Delta. Members of our community depend on our fish populations as a food source for them and their families. Our estuaries are on the verge of ruin, and many of our fish populations are close to the brink of extinction. The policies implemented to address the increase in water exports have done little to help our community. We need more. Our community and our environment deserve to thrive and prosper without the fear of environmental degradation. It is vital to both the members of this community and the species that live here that our water is safe and healthy. The toxic algal blooms and pollution currently threaten that. The prosperity of our natural habitats directly correlates to the prosperity and safety of the people in this area who depend on the Bay Delta estuary. As a result, it is our responsibility as citizens of this community to fight for sustainability so that future generations are able to appreciate the beauty and magnificence of this area the same way that we have. In addition to correcting the impact of damaging water management practices, there needs to be a focus on the importance of fisheries and how they can help our delta thrive. Fisheries can help us in maintaining fish populations so that our ecosystems can maintain balance and avoid ecological collapse. In addition, fish populations are important to maintain for those who depend on them as a source of both income and food. Furthermore, over the course of the last 2.5 years, the need for the implementation of the Bay Delta Plan and the reconsideration of voluntary agreements to Bay Delta standards has only increased. Instead of restoring flows to the San Joaquin Bay Delta so that we can remove toxic algal blooms, save declining fish populations, and eliminate the threat to public health, Both our federal and state government have instead exported millions of acres of water for profit-driven purposes. Our community is once again being underserved by the institutions that are designed to protect us. Stockton and San Joaquin County are deserving of the same environmental prosperity and protection as other areas of California. To ignore our environmental needs is by extension to ignore our community as a whole. The two are intertwined. The people of my community deserve priority over almond fields in the desert. The decline of the Bay Delta estuary is a result of those who prioritize financial gain over the well-being of our environment and the people who inhabit it. As conditions worsen, it will be poor communities of color, our most vulnerable, who will be impacted the most. It is our job to ensure that our land and our people can thrive. Thank you.